Hey guys, my name is Caleb Cardinell, and as that title suggests, this show is called Zombie Survival 101. Now, before we get started, I want to address a little troll problem I have. According to somebody on YouTube, you can't have an opinion on something that doesn't exist, or you can't have an opinion on something that isn't proven to exist. Now, I would like him to go to the Bigfoot community and tell them that, because he would probably get killed. Anyway, to say you can't have an opinion on something just because it doesn't exist, or just because there's no proof it exists, apparently he's never been a child. Anyway, that's about it. You're a fool, you're an idiot, and nobody likes trolls. That's why they live under bridges with the hobos. Seriously. And now on to you. My new subscribers from We All Juggle Knives traffic video. I want to say, what's going on? And if you don't know me or not familiar with me, I'm extremely friendly. Try to comment back as much as I can. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments below, and I'm going to get at you. And or you can email me at ThePlasticZombie@gmail.com. Put that in the description so you can go ahead and email me with any questions, or if you just want to talk about zombies. Thanks for subscribing, and finally, let's get to the show. Alright, so from now on, I'm going to do comment questions. And everybody knows what comment questions are. So just leave your comment questions below, and simple enough, I'll answer them on the next episode. Today's comment question comes from this guy, and he says, do you think rabies would ever become an airborne virus? Boom, zombies. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I think you're spot on with your videos. Something is brewing on the horizon. I don't think rabies would be an airborne virus, but it's a great candidate for zombies. I mean, dogs on the animals on rabies, they act crazy, unaware of their surroundings, foaming out the mouth, angry, and bite anything that comes next to them, because the virus makes them, because the virus wants to be spread. Sound familiar? Yeah, it does. Zombie virus almost exactly fits that bill. Angry, unaware of surroundings, must bite others to spread the virus. It almost sounds exactly the same. So if rabies could mutate to affect humans and could become a global phenomenon, then zombie apocalypse. What it would take more, though, is the rabies to mutate even further to be immune to the vaccinations. So that's when it would become a problem. So rabies is actually a pretty good candidate. And diseases and viruses, they genetically enhance all the time. That's why you always have to get new flu vaccination, because the original virus beats out the original vaccination. So it's possible. Thank you for that, David. Good question. Hope I answered it to your liking. Alright, my question. Question 1. Are zombies your biggest threat in an undead apocalypse? And the answer is no. They're your immediate threat, yes, and they're dangerous, yes. But your biggest threat is other people, other survivors, marauders, any kind of people, because people think, people strategize, people have techniques. Simple enough, a zombie ain't gonna pull a shotgun out on you. Now, a person, yeah, they probably will. They might. There's a good chance of it, because people are going to take what they want, when they want, how they want, whenever they want, simply because they can. You see it all the time in the news. When the government goes, people act crazy. Government gets overturned, and people start killing just because the other person has what they want, or because the other person doesn't believe in what they believe. So Simple enough. People are dangerous because they can think, strategize, and have complex thought. That's why they're more dangerous than the undead. This one's for all you lazy zombie survivalists out there. And this question is, can you stay safe just by staying home? And the answer is absolutely, with the right precautions. If you live in a city, though, I recommend relocating to a smaller population or a rural area. But if you must, you can. This is how. Same rules as my other video. You must barricade your house and stay really quiet. Ways to do that, again, plywood, 2x4 boards, and some tin sheets for the outside of the window to add extra protection so the zombies can't dig into your plywood. And trust me, that will go a long way. But if you don't stay quiet, again, you're not going to be safe because they're going to surround your house and they're going to rip off everything and they're going to find a way in. So stay quiet, barricade, and with the right supplies, you can stay safe in your own home. Simple enough. Should you travel in a small group or a large group? What are the pros and cons? I prefer a small group you can trust versus a large group of people you don't know. Pros of a small group would be more say in the group, which means, if there's 4 people in the group and you account for one of those 4, that means you have 25% of the say. So if you can get another person on your side, you have 50% of the say. So versus a large group where if there's 30 people, you have 1/30 of the say. And there's probably going to be a leader that has all the say anyway. So it's easier to sneak around in a small group because you small numbers, you can get in and get out without being detected. If 30 people going into a place, chances are someone's going to take notice, or a zombie's going to take notice, or a horde is going to take notice. Not good. Easier to hide out and live in housing. You can find shelter a lot easier when we have 4 people versus 30. It's going to be hard to find a place where you can safely have 30 people versus safely having 4 people. So, what else we got here? It's easier to travel in a small group because you got 4 people, get up and go. It's harder to get 30 people up and go. You know what I mean? Cons to smaller group, which would be pros to a larger group, would be to be less protection with 4 people. It's harder to fight off people with only 4, so you're have less protection than a larger group. Organization is much greater in a larger group because you have people who have specific jobs versus 4 people where everybody would share similar jobs because everybody's trying to get everything done. And that's about it for a large group. I recommend small groups because the cons of a large group are anyone is disposable. Someone could be hiding that they've been bitten, and it's harder to tell. If you're looking at 4 people, you can tell the guy's been bitten because he's all roaming and moaning. But if you have 30 people and he's hiding in the crowd, you don't know. If they're strangers in a large group, they can strand you or abandon you, and you don't want that. So, and I'm sorry I keep looking over, but I wrote these down last night for pros and cons, and because I wanted to get this answer done, because this answer is the hardest to answer off the top of my head. But I recommend a small group because more trust, easier to hide, and easier to find shelter with 4 people versus 30. So I recommend a small group, but there are pros and cons to both. This next one's not really a question. It's more of things I wrote down that I'd recommend you to carry as your prime bladed weapon or bludgeon weapon. Find it. A bladed weapon, I recommend a machete. And the machetes I wrote down for Cold Steel Gladius machete, the Cold Steel two-handed katana machete, or the Cold Steel two-handed Latin machete, or any kind of decent machete you can find from Condor or K-Bar would be fine as well. Bludgeon weapon, Cold Steel's polypropylene indestructible bat, or any kind of aluminum bat because it's strong. It'll work. It'll hold up. Any kind of firearm, I recommend a pistol, or you can use a shotgun, but always have a backup firearm. And be careful when using the firearm against the undead, because you use a firearm against the undead and you're making a lot of noise. And you can use a suppressor. Yes, you find a suppressor, then you're okay. But if you don't have a suppressor, I would recommend holding off shooting the undead with your shotgun, pistols, whatever. Just attracts attention. Noise attracts attention. You know what I mean? So, but a big thing you're gonna use your firearms for is other survivors. It's much more intimidating to pull a pistol on somebody than it is a machete. And if they have a firearm, you want a firearm. They're gonna because they'll try to steal stuff from you. They'll try to rob you, and you want a little protection on your side. It's gonna be your best friend in the apocalypse when dealing with people. Trust me. Like I said before, if you have a question that you want answered, leave it down there and use it for the next episode. Thanks for watching. Also, check out my website, ThePlasticZombie.weebly.com. I always update it, take a lot of pride in it. It's not some cheap website that I made in 10 seconds. It's not. It's a good website. I spent hours on it. So check it out. It's got zombie news, any kind of updates on the show, any kind of articles zombie related. Pretty much a ton of good stuff. Got my book on there as well. You can read. Also, I want to talk about Plastic Zombie Report Season 2, which is the weapon testing. I feel like I could do better than what I did for Season 1. So, Season 2 is actually going to be renamed to How to Kill a Zombie Season 1. And I have a giant list of things I plan on testing. So, stay tuned for that. That'll be coming soon. Little quick sneak peek. First episode will be on throwing weapons. I ordered some targets. I'm going to order the Gil Hibben Professional Throwing Axe and the Cold Steel Perfect Balance Thrower. So, stay tuned for that. All that's coming soon. My name's Caleb Cardinal, and I'm gone.